Are you looking for inspiration, peace, and a deeper connection with your soul? If you're ready to investigate your higher truth, take a deeper look inside, and discover a better way to live, stay tuned for Higher Soul Living, where we ignite your divine intelligence for life. With me, Reverend Christine Hart-Savage. I experienced a profound spiritual awakening that was so life-changing. It took me into a 30-year career as a metaphysical life coach and breathwork expert. I've mentored thousands of people through their personal challenges, anxiety, self-doubt, and search for meaning. Higher Soul Living is about choosing to live the higher way. It's about taking conscious ownership and drawing spiritual intelligence into your everyday life. Join me on a search for higher truth to find hope, connection, and happiness. The Higher Soul Living Show starts now. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning in Australia. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reverend Christine Hart-Savage. I've got a great program for you today. Transformation and the House of Mirrors. Now, transformation is a really interesting word. So I want to go through what that means for us in everyday living and also the House of Mirrors. I've just used this term. I've always used it. We could use it a few different terms, but that's the one I like. So are you reading the signs of the opportunities that are coming to you or are you ignoring them because they're always around us? So the House of Mirrors is always in action, from your frustrations, your dislikes, to the absolute loves in your life. It's always playing, always in action. So the world of mirrors, we could call it the world of mirrors instead of the House of Mirrors, but I like to call it the House of Mirrors. So I might interchange those words from the world to the house. So do you actually notice in your day-to-day life what is reflecting back to you? Because there's always something reflecting back, always. So these mirrors are really right in front of us, and often we are so blind to them. And can we learn from them? That's what I'd like to unpack today. Because I know I was blind to those mirrors when I was younger. I didn't know they were mirroring at all. So unless we have awareness about this, we can't do anything about it. So what does it mean for our lives as far as transformation goes as well? So what is transformation really? So transformation, actually we're all in it right now because in Australia, we're transforming at the moment from summer and we've just gone into autumn. Actually, it's lovely. It's lovely having that really nice, cool breeze in the mornings walking on the beach and then really nice days, sunny. It's been actually quite hot. And for a lot of people, you'll be transforming into spring. That's right. You're going from winter into spring at the moment. So it's changing from one thing to another. And having said that, because we've had a really sudden, unexpected passing of a dear friend. And it's really affected our whole singing community. So when I look at transformation there, and we all go through this, we transform from the physical body into the spiritual body when we die. Well, that's my belief anyway. You could have a different belief. So I like to think of our dear friend up there now, free and gorgeous. In fact, this morning in my meditation, I get up pretty early, but this morning I was up super early, about 2:30 in the morning, and I meditated for an hour. And at the end, I always bring in the world and different people, family members and friends. And I saw our dear friend there in his circle of light, and he was blazing and looked very happy. So to me, that's a beautiful transformation, even though it's hard for the ones that are left behind here on planet Earth. So let's get back to our main topic here. So in your own life, are you witnessing and consciously examining what takes place in your life? It can be very insightful. It can take you into a deeper understanding of yourself, and not only yourself, your whole life and life itself. So understanding mirroring can be a conscious daily exploration, and you can make it fun. It doesn't have to be serious. It can be deep and light, deep and fun. The House of Mirrors. This can also be used as a wonderful tool for personal development and, of course, the transformation, changing from who you are now to something new. And that's what we're after. It's the growth of life, it's the expansion, it's the transformation. So let's dive in. So, as human beings, we have awareness. We have not just that animal instinct and reactions, we have the ability to actually make choices, really aware choices, to think things through and to come to a decision or an understanding about what's presenting in our lives. And as far as I know, we're the only species on the earth that has this ability to think, to really make those choices. But do we make them with awareness? Do we make them mindfully? And having said that, I'd like to speak about the three minds we have. And then we'll look at how that works with transformation and the House of Mirrors. So we have three minds. We also have three brains, but for today's discussion, we're going to stick with the three minds. And we might do the three brains at another time. So we have three minds. We have the conscious mind. We have the unconscious or subconscious mind. To me, I use them both. They mean the same thing. So we have the subconscious mind and we have the higher mind. So three minds, held up four fingers. So let's open this up a bit. So what do the three minds have to do with transformation and the House of Mirrors? So let's look at the functions of the three minds. Got a frog in my throat today, I have to excuse that. So when you are consciously thinking something through, so you're going to make a decision, and then you are using your conscious mind, the thinking mind for that activity. The conscious mind can be a little bit fickle and wander off and daydream. It does this when it chooses, takes off here, there, it does it all the time. But you can consciously focus the conscious mind and use it to think things through with awareness. So when you're busy doing things, for example, I'm just going to go back to the conscious mind for a minute. When you're learning to drive a car, you're really conscious of everything. You think, am I going to get it? All these compartments. You turn the car on, you have to check your mirrors, you've got your accelerator, you've got your brake to put on. My feet are doing the actions underneath the desk. And we have to check everything. Then we go out onto the road. We have to obey the traffic lights. So we're using the conscious mind. We're doing all of these different things, checking everything as we drive. But when you get better at that and you're busy doing things in the car, you might be thinking about something totally different. And suddenly you end up at your destination and you think, oh my goodness, I don't even remember getting here, but you're there. Or you suddenly realize you're heading in the wrong direction when you're driving because you were thinking about something else. So what part of you took over then? If you weren't consciously thinking about what you're doing, there's another part that took over and actually drove the car. So what part is that? So when we get in the car, we don't do that conscious turn the ignition on, look at our mirrors, accelerate out, check the lights, and we don't do all of that consciously. The other part takes over. It becomes automatic. That's the unconscious or the subconscious mind. So that takes over when the conscious mind is not paying attention. And lucky it does, because goodness knows where we'd be otherwise. And the other mind, if you have a strong feeling, like a sensation that you should or you should not do something, you have that sort of intuitive hunch, and it may not even make sense to you in your conscious mind, but you've got this feeling that you should or shouldn't do something. That's coming from the higher mind. Now, for you personally, can you remember a time when any of these minds have been active in your life? Well, you know about your conscious mind. But do you remember times when your unconscious or your subconscious mind took over and it lived that part of life for you? And it does it a lot. Can you remember a time when you've had that gut feeling, that intuitive hunch that you should do something? Did you follow it? Because in my life, when I have ignored that hunch, I have fallen flat on my face, absolutely flat on my face. Now, to get to the higher mind, to live your life with more soul, more balance, more intention, more happiness, you have to become aware of all three minds. All three minds we have to become aware of. We need them to be in alignment. So there are three things that we need to do to get to that. We need to bring awareness to the conscious mind. We need to bring awareness to it. We need to unpack the unconscious or the subconscious mind. And what I mean by that is that there's hidden, unknown parts of us in the subconscious mind. They need to be brought to the surface. They need to be brought into the light of awareness, because otherwise they control us. And this will be a progression, a gradual journey. It's an awkward it's an awkward thing to do in sometimes. We need to align those three. I'll start this again. So there'll be a progression there, and it's really a state of waking up. It's a state of awakening, a state of being present. And this takes place. As this takes place, the higher mind or the soul mind can be accessed more freely as the three minds become integrated as one. So we have to delve into that subconscious mind where all the patterning sits. That all needs to be brought to the light. We need to be aware of it in our conscious mind, because we go from the conscious mind through the subconscious mind, through into the higher mind. And that needs to be cleared up, so the passageway is clear for us. We actually can't get there until we do that. We can't really move forward in a permanent way until we do that. Now, question. How do you know what mind you're in at any given time? So if you're thinking consciously, we'll just go over this again. If you're thinking consciously, if you're thinking something through, that's the conscious mind. It's your everyday mind. You use it every single day. You use it to make the shopping list, decide what you're going to watch on Netflix, what time you go to bed, all the basics. You use it to organize your life. If you find that you are emotionally reactive, either internal feelings of some type or emotional outbursts, then you are in your subconscious mind. Or if you have dominant thoughts and you can't let them go, they keep coming in and really taking your mind over, the mind is activated. That is also the unconscious or the subconscious mind. It's in action. So it's risen up out of you and it's taking control, because you may not want those thoughts there, but they keep coming back. So it's been activated. That stuff needs to be cleaned up. And have you ever heard someone say, she's in a mood today, she's not in her right mind? That really means that the subconscious mind is actually activated in that person. that they're speaking about. So we can often see when someone else is in the subconscious mind and they're activated, they're caught, they're attached to something, and they're behaving in a certain way. We tend to stay clear of them a bit, as people do with us when we've got that happening. So the unconscious mind holds your unconscious, your mind holds your unconscious below the surface. The unconscious sits underneath. And that's where the charge patterns of behavior are, emotional wounds, past conditioning. And when it's activated, you're reactive. And it is never, ever, ever rational. It never is rational. So these patterns act through you and often suddenly without warning. And guess what? You are 100% responsible for what comes up and out of you. You are responsible for that reaction, even if there's been triggers around you. These parts of you have to be brought into daylight. When I say daylight, I'm talking the light, the spiritual light. We have to bring it to light. We have to bring the light to it, into the darkness of that pattern so that we can release it. And we have to do that if you want to live a more balanced, loving, joyous life, a life that's freer and more connected to your soul, more soul living. We have to address those outbursts. They are ours and ours alone. We all have them, but they need to be dealt with. And as you work with your conscious mind and then delve into your unconscious mind, not only do you raise the whole of you, you can uncover, this is the great part, you can uncover previously unknown and undisclosed gifts and talents that you didn't know you had, because they're often sitting underneath the darkness that's caught inside us, that shadow side, that wounded side of us. It's like the pain body. And as we release the charge on that, underneath that, there's often skills, talents, gifts that surface and that take us on to our life path in a different way. You know, I work with a lot of people that say, oh, I want my purpose, I want my life path, I want to know what it is. But until we move that stuff, it's not going to surface. And what we're going through in life is always part of our purpose and our life path, because we use that knowledge to take us in the new direction. So there's no mistakes. So every part of your unconscious or your subconscious mind that has not been addressed will reflect back to you through life. Hence, the House of Mirrors. So the House of Mirrors is always in action. It's like the law of life. It's like the law of attraction. And I love this statement or this quote from Sir Isaac Newton. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Now, I used to wonder what the heck that meant. I used to contemplate that statement years ago when I was younger, and I didn't really get it. And then one morning, you know, when you're in that twilight and you're sort of coming to out of sleep, and I heard this voice repeating it over and over, saying exactly that. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And was saying it over and over. And it was me saying it over and over as I came to. Goodness knows why, but I suddenly understood what it meant. It gave me insight. So I must have been somewhere out there in my sleep learning. So the way I have used this understanding of Isaac Newton's higher truth is to ground it in really practical teachings. So I do that with simple graphics of how the extremes of patterns and behaviours play out in our lives and how we can balance these extremes. So things will either come back. With the House of Mirrors, it shows it very clearly. It shows that life reflects back to us what is going on inside us at the unconscious or subconscious level. And I've got courses on this. You can check them out on my website at soullifeconnection.com. How to Give a Shift is a course that I'm going to be running shortly, and it goes right into all of these things about patterning, how we can start to raise that vibrational frequency that is really low, that's stuck inside us with these, with the patterns that we hold, the wounds. And we do it kindly because we all have them. We don't want to make ourselves wrong for them. So we're vibrational beings. Quantum physics has really proven this now. We're always vibrating at a certain frequency. Childhood conditioning, old experiences, hurts, our joys, our loves, our talents. They're each, every one of them, vibrating at a certain frequency within us. And when we have awareness and we use life as a mirror, the house of mirrors, when we use life as a mirror, these deeply held vibrations can be changed. We can raise them, and we can do that living our daily lives. We can develop so wonderfully from these reflections, from this mirroring. The mirror, mirror on the wall. If someone's angry or abusive towards you, does that mean, in the mirroring, does that mean that you're an angry person yourself? I've been asked this question a lot over the years. And it could be that you're holding anger inside you, definitely. But that's okay, because we need to know what's there so that we can work with it. And you would look at that and ask yourself kindly, honestly, am I holding anger? And this takes courage, but that's how we transform through using the House of Mirrors. But someone behaving in an angry or abusive way doesn't always mean that they're angry. So if you've got people coming into your life that are angry towards you or abusive, or they're having outbursts, this is where this understanding of the mirror is important. So the reflective mirror could be that you need to set some boundaries. You need to get stronger and not tolerate that type of behavior in your life anymore. I know this has been a big one for me. So your journey might be that you had some parents or a parent or someone in your life that was quite maybe aggressive, maybe had some narcissistic patterning in their lives, and they were reflecting that on you as a child. And it could be reflecting that you need to learn to be stronger and actually set boundaries. And that can be really, really challenging. Like, no more. Saying it, meaning it. So that's the mirror in the opposite. So this could be called like the opposite mirror, the reverse mirror, which is a part of what Sir Isaac Newton's statement is about. To every action, there is an equal, where you can be angry with anger, or opposite, meaning that you could need to build a boundary when somebody is being aggressive towards you. So it's looking for all of these things that are really important. So what have we got? We're running out of time, and there's so much more I wanted to say. But be inquisitive with the House of Mirrors. It's really important. Have a look today at your life and where you can see this mirroring going on. And then look deeply in yourself and start to work with this. There's an opportunity to transform these deep core beliefs that are still alive, literally alive with energy. They're packed with charge, and they're in the subconscious mind, which lives in every part of the body. So how do you use the world of mirrors to help you understand yourself and life around you? Well, you do this, and it can be a fabulous guide. You ask yourself, what am I seeing in this reflection? What do I need to address in this situation? Am I doing this, reflecting what you're seeing back? Am I doing this anywhere in my own life? Do I need to make a different choice? Do I need to step back, create boundaries, become stronger, move on from someone or something? There's always opportunities. They're not always easy, but you've got to make sure that you're in alignment. Can I grow and expand from this part of myself? It could be that you have offers to do something, you say no because you're too scared, and they keep mirroring, mirroring, mirroring. I've had a lot of that. You probably have too. So the House of Mirrors can be very transformational. So it's always reflecting in your life. It's reflecting something back, good, bad, and indifferent. And you can see it in the reflections everywhere: family, friendships, colleagues, community, abundance of all sorts that is reflecting back to you in your careers, special qualities you may have, passions you may have. So becoming aware of your reflections. Work out what they're showing you. Be honest, transparent, authentic with yourself. So clean up what needs to be cleaned up. Be kind to yourself and make higher choices that are in alignment with your deeper values. If you do that, you'll be on the right track. And acknowledge the wonderful things mirroring in your life too. Always do that. Choose to enjoy your life. It's your life and you actually get to choose it. You really do. So be kind and patient with yourself, and many blessings to you. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for tuning in to Higher Soul Living, where you'll ignite your divine intelligence for life with me, Reverend Christine Hart-Savage. Join me every second and fourth Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio for more information and stories that inspire hope, possibilities, and a greater understanding of who you are at a higher soul level. Together we deepen the connection between the spiritual and the physical aspects of your being and align to your soul's innate intelligence. Metaphysics and the higher soul's journey are my greatest joy. I invite you to join our Facebook community, Soul Life Connection Group, and to visit my website, soullifeconnection.com, for more information about me, my programs, my coaching, and to tap into your higher soul's intelligence. I hope to see you next time.